Hi, good day to everyone. This is Ma'am Maybell. So now I am going to teach you regarding about our homeroom module 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if you remember in our module 3, the title is the 3S. It is conquering the clouds of challenges. Wherein in here, if you remember, we have learned about what is this 3S about? Just to review this the roles, the rights, and responsibility. So we're in the module 3 teach us that you have to know your roles. We have different roles, right? Sometimes we are the child, we have a role as a child, we have a role as a student, as a sibling, as a citizen, as a neighbor, as a church member, etc. So marami tayong role sa pang-araw-araw nating buhay. Mula umaga hanggang gabi, hanggang sa tayo magre-rest, we encountering different roles. Diba? Isa tayong apo, isa tayong kaklase, isa tayong kaibigan. And we need to be aware of that. And as well, um, even though we have a lot of roles that we need to do, meron din tayong iba-ibang rights, especially the rights of the child that we have learned in this module. And it is divided into four subparts, which is it is the rights for you to have a protection, to survive, to participate, and to have a development. So if you know your roles and you know your rights, that is good and that is better because you can now perform your responsibilities. So everybody has a responsibilities. Example of that is to give a review is we have a responsibility to love, to respect our parents, our siblings, our family, the elders, as well as in the community, we need to participate as well. We need as well to be a very good civic person. Our country also need us. Okay, so this is what the module 3 3S is about. So the activity that you need to accomplish in here can be found in page 12. So in a one whole sheet of paper, you can copy this table or yung mga may kakayanan na gusto i-xerox ito, pwede naman yon para you will just put your answer. Kaya lang, kung medyo maliit yung mga spacing, so siguro we can just initiate na gawa ng paraan para malagay yung inyong mga sagot. So the question in here is, you need to put different information on the table. Ang title ng table natin ay My Rights and My Responsibilities Action Plan. So dito, makikita natin yung pinaka-summary sa katotohanan, sa realidad, ano na nga ba yung mga responsibility na dapat kong gawin. So it's an action plan. So it will remind you na dapat pala ito na yung tupdin ko. Diba? Kasi I have 3 R's. I have role, I have rights, and I have responsibility. So all of these are the things you need to do. First, it is you need to know what are your rights. You can go back on this module para makapili kayo doon kung ano yung child rights na gusto nyong i-emphasize. And then, after knowing your child rights, you need to know what are you going to do with that right to yourself, to your home, or to your family, or the member of the family at sa community. For example, where are you living right now? Sa community natin as in Burgos, in Mali, in San Mateo, in Montalban, or as a Philippine or as a member of the world, right? So dito may example. Halimbawa, ang una niyang napili na child right ay right to be educated. So medyo marami yon, pili lang kayo kahit mga at least 3. Or if you wanted to use all, that's much better para ma-reflect nyo lahat yung mga action plan ninyo sa bawat rights ng isang bata. So as an example, this right to be educated, how to apply it to yourself, I need to have my study habits effectively. Kung maalala nyo, naaral na rin natin yung mga study habits na yon. Sabi dito sa table na to nung may-ari, kailangan ma-apply ko siya ng makabuluhan sa sarili ko. So, dapat gawin yon. Sa bahay naman, paano naman makakatulong tong right to be educated? Assist siblings or any family member in their academic endeavors. So, yung right to be educated, hindi lang naman ikaw yung may rights noon, di ba? So, sa bahay ninyo, maaaring may mga kapatid ka doon. Kung solong anak ka, maaaring may mga pinsan ka, right? Kasama mo sa bayo, hindi man. So, pwedeng isagot ay, ia-assist mo sila sa mga kailangan nilang gawin sa kanilang pag-aaral. That's the academic endeavors. since we are grade 9, so pwedeng-pwede natin 'tong magawa para yung mga members natin na also have the child rights to be educated, you can supply it to them, you can help them for their education. For the community naman, so you have the right to be educated. For the community, how are you going to help them to, or what is your responsibility for our community for them to feel that they have these rights to be educated? Sabi dito, share knowledge on healthy protocols during this COVID-19. So, halimbawa, paano nga ba tayo makakapag-share? It doesn't mean na live, na talagang sa labas, kakausapin mo bawat isa. You can use like Facebook, you can post on your status, di ba? On your day, you can let the others be aware regarding about the healthy protocols. Remind them. In that way, you can, pag pinost mo yon at nabasa ng mga tao sa, actually, can reach nga whole world kapag naka-public, di ba? So, nakakapag-share ka ng knowledge, nabibigyan mo sila ng education regarding about COVID-19 safety precaution. Okay? So, ganun po yung ating gagawin. Pili tayo ng rights. Paano natin mapapractice yung rights na yon, or anong responsibility ang pwede natin gawin sa sarili natin para sa rights na yon. Paano naman sa bahay, anong responsibilidad ang pwede nating gawin para ma-enhance yung right na yon sa mga kasama natin sa bahay? At paano naman natin magagamit din yung rights na yon para sa ating community or matulungan ang mga taong nasa paligid natin? Puwedeng kagaya nitong una, hayaan natin silang matuto, maging maalam sa kung ano yung mga dapat na gawin, okay? So, let us have now um, this next slide. So pagkatapos nun, meron lang tayong 3 question na pwedeng sagutin sa baba. So, there's no need for you to copy the question para wala na rin kayong masyadong sinusulat. I just need the answer in here. Sa baba nung table ninyo, what is the goal that you are still trying to fulfill as of the moment? So, saan nyo makikita yon? Siyempre, magre-reflect yun dun sa table na ginawa nyo kanina. Ano-ano nga ba yung goal na kailangan mo pa daw gawin sa pangkasalukuyan. Goal sa sarili mo, goal sa um, home ninyo, sa family members ninyo, at goal sa community ninyo. And then, number 2, what suggestion or tips would you like to give to yourself? So, syempre, may mga responsibilities ka na gagawin sa sarili mo, sa bayan mo, at sa pamilya mo. Ano-ano kaya ang palagay mo na maibibigay mong tips sa sarili mo kung paano mo to magagawa? Talagang maa-aksiyunan, 'di ba? Number 3, how do you promote child rights in school, at home, and community? So, isip tayo ng paraan, paano nga ba natin maipapaliwanag or maipupush ang child rights sa school, sa bahay natin, at sa ating community. Kunwari dito sa Burgos or sa buong Pilipinas. So, yung paraan na yon, you need to give at least 5 ways. When you say at least, pinakamababa yung 5 paraan. So, pwedeng Tagalog ang ating isagot kung gusto kayo mas komportable. But if you can use English as a medium of your language, that's also better because our homeroom is written in English. Yun yung ginamit na question. So, maganda rin kung doon na ang ating ipapractice na gagamitin sa pagsagot. Pero kung mahirapan, ang importante ay masagutan natin itong mga tinatanong sa atin sa homeroom. Let's proceed. So you can see it on page 12, module number 3. Ang title nito yung What I Have Learned. Now let's proceed with module number 4. It is entitled Becoming Better with Discipline. So, ang ganda ng title, no? Title pa lang. If we have discipline, sabi niya, then we will be a better person. Then let's proceed more. So let us first define what is discipline. I researched in Merriam-Webster. Merriam said, first, the meaning of it is to control gain by enforcing obedience or order. So meaning to say, talagang pag sinabing discipline, we are controlling someone or controlling yourself. Pwede kasi may self-discipline to obey what is ordered for you to do. Okay? So talagang you are controlling yourself o kailangan kong sumunod. That's discipline. Meron kang pagsunod. Letter B, ordinarily or prescribed conduct or pattern of behavior. So, tayong mga tao, meron tayong tinatawag na pattern of behavior o yung mga, 'di ba pagka minsan sabihan tayo ng mga magulang natin, "O wag mag-ano ha, magmi-misbehave ha, behave tayo ha sa party." So, meron tayong mga prescribed or pattern of behavior na sinusunod. Example na lang 'yan, ang kapag pumunta tayo sa ibang bahay, 'di ba, we need to sit properly, wag tayong malikot, and then 'pag may nag-uusap naman, hindi tayo puwedeng magtatanong bigla or sasabat sa mga nakakatanda. That is an example of pattern behavior. And then kapag nasusunod mo 'yon, then discipline, you already practice discipline kasi sinusunod mo yung mga pattern behavior na 'yon. And then letter C, discipline is also known as self-control. Minsan kasi ang discipline is given to us, dinisiplina tayo ng mga taong nakapaligid sa atin kagaya ng ating mga kamag-anak, mas nakakatanda sa ating kapatid or nakakatandang pinsan o tiyuhin or mismo ang ating mga magulang. But meron din tayong tinatawag na discipline within ourselves. You are controlling yourself. Ikaw na mismo yung nagsasabi sa sarili mo na hindi ito tama, wag natin itong gawin. Then that is also the same with discipline. So now, since we know what is discipline means, do you know that the importance of it is first, it makes you stay stronger and motivated in the midst of the pandemic. So if we have discipline, especially right now, pandemic is a big challenge for us. So mas nagiging strong tayo kasi alam natin paano mag-control sa ating mga dapat gawin. Una, may mga rules and regulations sa atin na pinapagawa ang ating gobyerno like using face mask or pagpunta sa mga establishment na laging naka-face shield. Ngayon bawal na nga, eh, kahit hindi lang sa establishment. When you go out, face shield is a must. So, ngayong pandemic kailangan may disiplina tayo na sundin 'yun. So, kapag meron tayong disiplina, mas nagiging motivated tayo na matatapos din ang lahat at mas nakakapagbigay sa atin ng kumpiyansa at ng kalakasan na tayo'y mas nagiging matapang kahit may pandemic pa 'yan. Bakit? Kasi alam natin kung paano ang sumunod. Alam natin ligtas tayo because we have discipline. And then another, do you know that the importance of discipline is number two, self-discipline helps you more focused and independent, especially this distance learning. So, everybody is now experiencing distance learning. You are online, some are modular, so, kapag meron tayong, discipline, mas nagtututo tayong magkaroon ng, focus and mas natututo tayong maging independent, hindi umasa sa iba. Kasi nga kaya nating kontrolin ang ating mga desisyon, ang ating mga gagawin. So, dahil doon natututunan din natin na, gumawa ng ayon lang sa ating sa kaya at magkaroon ng, focus. Ah So let's proceed. So I have here some question. Do you still remember how you've been so thankful that you control yourself? 'Di ba? Most of the time sa buhay natin na talagang nalalagay tayo sa mga sitwasyon na parang napakabilis nating mag-react. So example, of, that you control yourself, have you experienced na you avoid saying hurtful words towards other? Yung bang parang ginalit ka niya, but then mas pinili mo na lang na, manahimik, ayaw mo na lang magsalita ng masakit. Have you already tried that? And number two, have you already also tried to control yourself in terms of money that that you are saving money by ignoring unnecessary things, especially ngayon, 'di ba? Napakagandang gawain na makontrol mo yung sarili mo na hindi mag-spend too much. Kasi nga, since now pandemic, marami ngayon na nawawalan ng trabaho, may mga kamag-anak tayo or maybe some of our family members lose their job. So, yun yung reason kaya they lose their money as well. So, if we have control na hindi mag-spend sa mga hindi naman natin kailangan, 'di ba? Parang nakakatuwa kung aalalahanin na lang natin na buti na lang pala nagkontrol ako na maggastos ng maggastos. I'm so thankful na nagawa ko yun. And then ano kaya yung number one, at the end of the day, kahit galit na galit ka, hindi ka lumaban ng salita, hindi ka nagbitaw ng masasakit na salita sa isang tao, then mare-realize mo na buti na lang pala hindi ko siya pinagsabihan ng masakit, 'di ba? It is such a parang fulfillment na parang napakagaling ko, buti na lang nagagawa kong mag-control. Kasi kung hindi natin magagawang mag-control, ang balik sa atin ng mga masasakit na salita or experience ay masakit din. Kasi 'di ba, meron ngang law of interaction. What you do to others will also do to you, or the karma. That's also the other term for that. So, nakakatuwa na alalahanin na kapag nakokontrol natin ang ating sarili ay we will became so thankful. Kasi maganda yung mas mangyayari sa atin, mas parang nagiging positive pa yung mga araw natin. So the last one, what could have happened if you were impulsive that time? Baliktarin natin, paano kaya kung masyado kang naging rush? Nung naramdaman mo yung galit, nag-response ka kagad. 'Di ba, marami ng mga ganyang kwento na nawawalan ng kontrol sa sarili, kagaya na lamang ng mga ibang insidente na halos others di na nila mapigilan ng galit, walang katapusang patayan, gantihan. Why? Kasi wala silang kontrol sa kanilang sarili. So, maaaring mangyari 'yun. And another, kung hindi kaya tayo nagkontrol sa ating pera, ano kayang mangyayari sa atin ngayon? Kung naging very impulsive tayo na, gusto ko 'to, sige bilhin ko 'to. Will you still be thankful sa result? Paano na 'to, wala na kaming pera. So, ang mangyayari baka maaaring malubog sa utang ikaw or kayo ng family mo. So, in this scenario, kung i-imaginin natin, napaka-importante na tayo ay may control sa ating mga sarili. So, for instance, if you are angry, it is not an excuse to hurt other or break the things at home, 'di ba? Pero minsan sa katotohanan, nagagawa ng iba ito sa atin, nakakalungkot, na kapag nagagalit ay nananakit, namamalo 'no, sa sobrang galit, we break some things, nagdadabog, nagbabasag. There are proper ways and time to express those things, and learning them means having self-discipline. So, sabi ng sentence natin, whenever we feel anger or any negative emotion, always remember that there are always proper ways, hindi lang paraan, pero proper na time din kung paano natin dapat i-express ang ating sarili. And kapag na-control natin ang ating sarili na 'wag agad-agad, um, mag-react ng baka maging negative. Yung iba humihinga pa nga, 'di ba? Sabi, "Hinga ka 7 beses, kaya lakad ka muna." Kapagka talagang negative feelings yung bato sa'yo ng kapwa mo. And what you're doing is an example of self-control or self-disciplining. So, napaka-importante na meron tayong ganito. Kasi kung lahat na lang ng tao ay very impulsive, siguro ang gulo-gulo na ng earth, wala ng peace. So, self-discipline can bring peace to everyone. To you, to yourself, to your family, to your neighbors, to your friends, and all the people that surrounds you. So, this module number 4 will help us how we can be able to improve our self-discipline. Sometimes talaga merong pagkakataon na nawawalan tayo ng disiplina. But this module will remind us paano nga ba natin i-improve. Kung meron na, paano pa natin siya i-improve. Then kung wala, ano ang dapat natin gawin para magkaroon nito. This is with an acronyms of control. Okay, so let's start with letter C. C means commit or commit to your goal. Whether it's getting over your emotion or getting enough sleep at night, it is important to go back to your goals. Remind yourself why you need to do it and stick to it. So, para ma-improve daw natin ang ating disiplina sa ating sarili, we need to commit with our goal. When we say commit, that's commitment. When we say commitment, it's your responsibility that you keep your goal. Hindi puwedeng, nung isang taon may goal ka tapos sasabihin mo, "Parang nakakatamad naman, ayoko na yatang i-reach yung goal ko na yun." Ang goal mo ay matapos mo ang pag-aaral mo, and then ngayon sasabihin mo, "Parang ayoko na yatang magtapos." So, that is a no-no in improving our self-discipline. First, we need to commit on what our goal is. Ano-ano nga ba ang goal mo sa buhay, alalahanin mo yon, and kailangan maging committed ka dun, 'wag mong bibitawan. Kapagka gano'n, ang self-discipline mo or ang disiplina mo ay laging naandiyan. Kahit ano pang mangyari, magkaroon ng pandemic, hindi na face to face, online class na, kailangan mo ng gumising ng 8 o'clock everyday, and may mga challenges na sabay-sabay ang activities. But then, since you have a goal, lagi kang nakakommit sa yung goal, nag-promise ka sa yung goal na kailangan akong makatapos. So, ang control mo na andun na lang, disiplina mo lagi na andun. Kailangan ko 'tong ipasa, 'di ba? Kailangan ko makinig sa teacher ko, kailangan ko mag-online, kailangan ko ayusin yung microphone ko, ang camera ko, ang computer, ang laptop ko, ang gadget ko, kasi meron akong goal. So, isa yun sa indication that you are improving your self-discipline. Another, we have O, which is objectivity. Objectivity is the key. Don't be too hard on yourself, but don't be too easy as well. Sabi nga nila, ang sobra at ang kulang ay masama. So, dun lang tayo sa tama lang. And nakaka-stress din 'pag sobra naman tayong mahigpit sa sarili natin. And nakakatamad naman kapag sobra naman tayong wala lang, komportable lang. So, let's take it to the point na komportable lang tayo sa, um, ating sarili kapag tayo'y may mga goal na nais na gawin. Put yourself in another perspective aside from yours so that you can look at the bigger picture of the situation. So, when we say perspective, that is how you view things. So, minsan, tumingin din naman din daw tayo in the bigger picture in a way na tignan din naman daw natin kung paano ang perspective ng iba. Halimbawa, ano ba ang perspective ng magulang natin sa atin? Ano ba ang vision nila para sa atin? How do they imagine us? Maaari ang magulang natin mahal na mahal tayo. So, they imagine us like kahit na magtatrabaho sila, kahit busy sila, nasaan man sila, lagi nilang naiisip ang vision nila sa'yo, ang anak ko nag-aaral, 'di ba? Ang anak ko, um, alam ko ang anak ko nandun, nag-aaral mabuti, nagpapasa ng kailangan ipasa, wala akong problema. Alam ko ang anak ko mabait sa teacher, sa mga kaklase. So, instead of just looking at your perspective na ako lang, magtatapos naman ako, eh, 'di bale ng medyo tamad 'no. Why not also look at your parents, ano kayang tingin ng magulang ko sa akin? So, umaasa yung magulang ko pala na ako ay makakatapos. Then, also take it. Yung mga pangarap sa'yo ng magulang mo, i-consider mo yon. That is what do we call objectivity, okay? So, not only yourself but also the people around you. And then N means never. It means never underestimate willpower. Use your inner strength to resist temptations that will set you back from your goal. So, yung iba, may mga iba na napanghihinaan ng loob. Every individual have power. Sabi nga tayo ang pinakanilalang ng Diyos na pinakamagaling sa lahat. Okay? So, never underestimate it or wag natin itong mamaliitin. Kailangan alam natin yung ating lakas or our strength kung paano natin maiiwasan yung mga tukso o yung mga impluwensiya na hindi maganda para makabalik tayo sa ano ba talaga yung goals at yung mga pangarap natin. Kung sinabi natin goals, yung mga gusto nating mangyari. So tayo ay may kakayanan, may lakas para mag-resist, para umayaw, and then kaya mo yun. Maniwala ka sa sarili mo na kaya ko yun. Okay? In that way, you are improving your self-discipline. Another T, think of your motivation. People have attested that constantly being presented with the reason why they set their goal has an immense effect in helping them achieve what they want. So, i-keep natin lagi yung ating motivation. Kung alam na, motivation natin na yung ating goals. Diba? Ang goal natin, kunwari, makatapos, always be motivated about that. Gigising ako, yun yung kaya ako gumigising kasi I'm very motivated to attend the school. Even we are in online right now, I still wanted to finish my education. In that way, it can help you to achieve what you wanted. R, rest and reset. Even the health practitioners always tell it to us, please have a rest. Huwag tayong masyado magpupuyat, huwag tayong magpaka-stress. You don't have to always outrun your goals. There are days when you walk on much slower pace and feel less motivated, but use those days to help you power through and reach your goals. 'Di ba? Sabi nga kanina, wag masyadong sobra. Pwede naman tayong mag-slow pace muna hangga't tayo ay komportable. Wag namang sobrang too easy. Kaugnay ito nung kaninang sinabi rin. O, overwhelming yourself may not be okay. Don't set too many unrealistic goals that you'll have trouble finishing. It's better to set one at a time than be overwhelmed with too many that you can no longer handle. So, wag po natin masyadong i-stress ang ating sarili or i-pressure ng napakaraming goal na parang hindi na makatotohanan. Mag-set lang tayo ng mga goal na alam natin na kaya natin gawin, i-handle at may possibility na mangyari, 'di ba? Halimbawa, ang pagtatapos ng ating pag-aaral ay napakalaking possibility. Why did I say that? Wala namang magulang na nag-ayaw na ikaw ay magtapos. So, ang magulang mo ay laging nandyan na suportahan ka para mangyari yung goal mo na yan. So, that is really positive, that is realistic. Then, kahit yun muna ang panghawakan natin. Kasi possible makukuha natin siya. Diba? Let us have L or live a life with a can-do attitude. Believe in yourself and your ability to attain whatever goal you want to. Sabi nga na ng isang famous na yung isang Christian a pastor na siya. He is also an inspirational um, speaker. Yung, I forgot his name, but he don't have legs and arms. Sabi nga niya, ang tao lang ang nagbibigay ng limitasyon sa kanyang sarili. Meaning to say, pag sinabi mong, hindi ko yan kaya kasi mahiyain ako eh. You are just the only one telling it to yourself. But actually, kaya nating lahat. Let us promote the can-do attitude. Ikaw mismo magsabi sa sarili mo na, kaya ko, kaya ko. Who will believe in yourself? Who will believe in ourselves than other than ourselves? Right? So, ano man ang sabihin ng tao, pangit man ang sabihin ng tao, wag natin tignan, wag natin pakinggan. Ang isipin natin ay ang ating attitude na, kaya ko to. And then you will benefit because you have the courage, matapang ka, na harapin ang lahat. So if you have this control, this is the 7 ways for you to improve your self-discipline. So for your activity in this module, we are going to do the what I have learned. So in here, I'll just read the direction. Thinking and acting ahead. Copy the table below on a clean sheet of paper or bond paper, pero pwede na kahit sa one whole na lang or yung again yung mga gusto magpa-Xerox, sige i-Xerox na lang para di na kayo kokopya pa. Isusulat niyo na lang yung sagot niyo. Think of 3 situations, sa tatlo lang, that you can possibly encounter in life. Then think about what can go wrong in every situation you provided. Finally, write about possible preventions that you can do in order to avoid what can go wrong. So, halimbawa, mag-isip tayo ng 3 sitwasyon na pwede nating ma-experience sa buhay natin. Bawa, number one, ito ay sarili kong sagot. I love going out with my friends. Talagang marami sa mga edad na ninyo ay gusto laging kasama ang kaibigan, no? Doon nag spend ng halos buong araw or kung hindi man, aalis ng hapon, minsan gabi na umuuwi sa bahay. So in that situation, what is the things that I see makes it wrong? I I didn't pass my assignment or my activities and of course my mom will scold me, right? So what do you think will be the prevention that you can do kung ganun na yung mangyayari na mapapagalitan ka at hindi ka na nakakapagpasa. So, dapat, ang gawin natin ay, hindi na lang ako lalabas lagi. I will not always go out with my friends. Siguro, I can still have interaction with them, pero chat na lang siguro. Hindi pa rin naman mawawala yung social interaction if we will chat every day. In that way, I can follow my mom and as well, I can pass my activity in school. Hindi ko na napabayaan yung pag-aaral ko, natuwa pa sa akin ang pamilya ko. So, yun yung ating gagawin. Isip tayo ng sitwasyon, and then sa sitwasyon na yun, ano kaya yung pwedeng mangyari na hindi maganda, and paano mo kaya mape-prevent na hindi mangyari yung maganda na yun. Sa ganitong table, makikita natin na paano ako magkakaroon ng disiplina sa iba't ibang mga sitwasyon. Okay? So you can find this on your module number 4, page 8. The title is What I Have Learned. Now, let's talk about module number 5. Let's talk about respect. Ang ganda rin ng title na to. When we say respect, of course, we can connect to the different kind of people. So, I have in here a quotes na talagang sikat na sikat and madalas nating mabanggit. Respect is not earned, not given. Diba? Respect is earned, not given. Respect is earned, not given. Some people have done nothing to earn my respect. So, yung respect daw ay um, you can earn it. Kumbaga, marami talaga sa ating magpapakita niyan. Okay? Ipapakita. Let's proceed in here. So, we need to practice respect. Of course. Let us try this. If you are given a chance to grade your family members if they practice respect, what will be their grade? Halimbawa, 1 to 10 ang pinaka mataas. Andyan yung family members natin dyan, si lolo, si lola, si tito, si tita, pinsan, ate, kuya, parents, okay? If you will give them a grade, each family members, what will be their grade for you? O kung ikaw din ang mag-grade sa iyong mga kaibigan, ano kaya magiging grade na ibibigay mo sa kanila in terms of practicing respect? At ikaw din, kung bibigyan ka ng pagkakataon na gradean ang sarili mo, anong grade ang maibibigay mo kung napapractice mo pa talaga ang respeto sa ibang tao? Siguro nag-iisip na, 'no? Tamang-tama oo nga 'no? Kung mabibigyan tayo ng chance, ano nga kaya ang grade na ibibigay natin? So, when we say respect, pag-usapan muna natin, it means honoring a person's existence and accepting his or her characteristics without any judgment, regardless if they are similar or different from us. So, respect means honoring. When we honor someone, di ba, parang talagang tinitingala natin siya, hinahangaan natin siya. Di ba kaya nga sa school we have honors. And then, pagka talagang tinawag yung pangalan ng honor, how do you feel? Napakatalino niya. So, parang never mo siya puwedeng, never pagka binigyan siya ng medalya, hindi mo siya puwedeng sigawan, pagka pinaakyat siya sa stage, 'di ba? That is an example of how to honor. And in respect, we need to honor their existence. Kung ano mang klaseng tao sila, ano man characteristics ang meron sila, kulay, itsura, parte ng katawan, kakayahan, abilidad, talento, maganda man, hindi, sa paningin natin, iba-iba, okay, iba-iba ang way. Dapat daw po yun ay na-o-honor natin or tinatanggap pa rin natin nang hindi natin judge regardless kung kapareho man natin sila or hindi, panlabas or panloob na mga characteristics. That is respect, 'di ba? Napakadaling intindihin ng um, pag-uugaling pagbigay ng respeto. But then ngayon tingnan paaalalahanan tayo ng module na ito na practicein natin ito. Okay? Kasi isa rin 'to sa component kung paano tayo makaka-build ng peace and love sa ating world. So, in respect, it will help you to establish meaningful social connections to the people in the society. We are surrounded with the different people in our society. Dito pa lang sa subdivision nyo pa lang or sa barangay nyo pa lang, iba-ibang klaseng tao na agad. Iyan, di ba? Paano pa kaya kung magkakaroon ka ng chance na makapag-aral pa sa mas malayong school, o kaya ay makapag-travel someday, o kaya ay ma-invite ka sa iba pang probinsya, mas makikilala ka pa ng mas marami pang tao na iba-iba. So, 'pag meron daw tayong respeto at, meron tayong ganitong pag-uugali, nagkakaroon tayo sa kanila ng, connections. Hindi lang simpleng connection but meaningful, makabuluhan na, connection sa iba-ibang tao. And napakaganda noon na parang, gusto ka when you kasi connect, 'di ba, parang nagkakasundo kayo ng iba't ibang klase ng tao. Naiintindihan ka niya at naiintindihan mo rin siya. Kapag ikaw din ay may respeto, it will help you to recognize the unique belief, culture, and values of different individuals, different groups, different communities. It is an effective way to deal with the diversity of the people. 'Di ba remember, meron na tayong tinatawag na globalization. So, matagal na sa ating ini-incorporate ito at tinuturo sa atin na i-recognize natin, tanggapin, 'di ba? Um, Maging aware tayo, okay lang sa atin, hindi tayo parang nandidiri or hindi tayo nag-a-against, 'di ba? Hindi tayo nagiging negative sa mga paniniwala, sa mga culture, sa mga pag-uugali ng iba't ibang tao, grupo man 'yan or isang komunidad man 'yan, okey? Another, by means of respect, it will help you to recognize the different ways and situations to other people. Kapag may respeto tayo, mas naiintindihan natin kung ano-ano ba yung mga pamamaraan, bakit ganito sila magsalita, bakit ganito sila manamit, 'di ba? Pati yung mga sitwasyon, bakit may mga ganito silang selebrasyon. So, since meron kang respeto, naiintindihan mo iyon, okay? Okey lang sa'yo, hindi ka naba-bother. 'Pag meron ding respeto, the last part, it will help you to maintain good relationship and connection with the people around you. So, 'pag meron kang ugali, 'pag ikaw ay marespeto, maganda ang relationship mo sa iba, 'di ba? Wala kang stress, masarap mabuhay, mas malalaman mo na ang sarap gumising araw-araw kasi ang dami kong nakikilala, ang dami kong nagiging kaibigan. So, napakaganda na ang gift ng respect, ang ganda ng balik sa atin. So let us try to explore this different scenario. I want you to recommend ways on how will you show respect in the given situation. Okay? So magbibigay ako ng situation dito. Paano kaya nga tayo magpapakita ng respeto kung ganito na yung sitwasyon? Basahin ko ha. And try to imagine. You visited a relative named Agay. So siya ay kamag-anak mo, maaaring malayo mong kamag-anak who belongs to an indigenous group. So pag alam naman natin yung indigenous group, ito ay mga tao na, may sariling kultura, 'di ba? Puwedeng isang etniko, ganyan. So, he happily prepared ang exotic food for you. So, 'pag sinabi natin exotic food, ayan example kung mga kumakain man kayo ng mga nandiyan sa baba, balot, palaka, et cetera, marami pa. However, you are not comfortable eating such food, and it is your first time to be in their house. How will you show respect? Kung maalala niyo 'di ba, sabi kanina, we need to accept the, different beliefs and cultures. So, si Agay doon malayo mo siyang kamag-anak and then nakita mo gano'n yung mga kinakain, actually nag-prepare pa siya para sa'yo, 'di ba? That is, their unique values and their unique culture sa kanila okey lang yun, meal talaga yun. So para mapakita natin ang ating, respeto, we need to recognize it. Hindi ko naman sinabing ubusin mo lahat. Puwede nating tikman, maiintindihan na tayo ni Agay no'n. At least yung hinanda niya ay hindi natin in-ignore. In that way, nagpapakita tayo ng respeto kasi nire-recognize natin yung kanilang kabutihan na tayo'y pinaghandaan nila ng pagkain, okey? Another, paano ka naman magkakaroon ng respeto kung or paano mo maipapakita pa rin ang respeto kung ganito ang sitwasyon? Your friends mother, Chia, so may kaibigan si mother, pangalan Chia, who happen to be your neighbor, creates gossip about your family. One morning, you overheard her talking about you with your other neighbors in front of your house. So, yung kapitbahay ninyo na overheard mo or narinig mo na may sinasabi na chismis regarding about your family. So, paano kaya pa rin tayo magkakaroon ng respeto dito? Kung maalala ninyo 'no, dapat idagdag din natin dito yung self-control or yung discipline. Kayo ay mga grade 9, so still you are dependent with the parents, 'di ba? Siguro para sa akin kung ako ang sasagot nito, mas maganda kung I would let my parents know that sabihin natin kay parent, sa magulang natin na kaidaran, total kaibigan naman siya ng mama natin or ng yun nga, ng mama natin. Sabihin natin sa kanya, "Ma, parang narinig ko po ganito," or baka minsan, baka na-overheard or baka sumobra lang din tayo sa padinig, mamaya hindi naman pala talaga yun yung sinabi, 'di ba? 'Wag po natin din dadagdagan yung mga kinuwento, baka kasi mamaya hindi naman pala gano'n. It says overheard. So, let your mom and the neighbor talk and, para makapag-usap sila rin ng maayos, 'di ba? 'Wag agad susugod, 'wag sasagot sa mga matatanda, 'wag tayong magpadala sa ating damdamin. 'Wag natin ilagay sa isip natin na, "Wala naman akong ginagawang masama," pero 'di ba, yung init ng ulo wala siyang pupuntahang maganda. So, lalo na tayo, nasa edad tayo na tayo ay still nasa kustodiya ng ating mga magulang, we are dependent with them, why not we ask support to them. Sabihin natin sa magulang natin yung naranasan natin na medyo hindi tayo komportable para sila naman ang makikipag-usap sa ating kapitbahay. Ang maganda kung may magandang samahan ng kapitbahay kasi pangalawang mga tao yan na makakatulong sa atin in times na talagang kailangan natin ng tulong para na rin natin silang pamilya. Okay? Wala namang ibang bagay na hindi nalulutas kung pag-uusapan ng maayos. Okay? So, let us try to have a reflection. I have here two questions on those two scenario that I presented a while ago. Was it easy or hard to apply your recommended ways? Sa totoong buhay ba, madali ba siyang ma-apply ang respeto, yung mga sinabi natin na ways, or mahirap? Why? Siguro, sa katotohanan, kung hindi tayo equipped, hindi tayo na talagang parang sa society, sa paligid natin laging, we are surrounded na kapag ika'y naagabyado, laban agad ano, magiging mahirap yung mga ways na ating ni-recommend. Pero kung mula pagkabata pa lang tinuruan na tayo ng ating mga magulang na i-accept ang ibang tao, 'di ba, maging mahinahon, siguro it will be easy na matanggap yung binigay nating mga pamamaraan kung paano i-ha-handle yung mga sitwasyon kanina. Let's have number two. Do you really need to be respectful always? Why? When I'm asking question, puwede kayong sumagot sa sarili ninyo 'no. Kailangan ba talaga tayong laging marespeto? For me, yes, of course. Kasi, as what I told you, I always have this philosophy na, what you do with others will return back to you. So, kung you want change in the world, why not it will start with you. Promotes respect, ikaw ang unang magpakita nito sa tao and you will earn it, 'di ba? 'Pag pinakita mo, um, hindi 'pag pinakita mo ibabalik nila yun sa iyo. Hindi mo na kailangan pang hingin, "O kailangan respeto niyo ako." Hindi, it is chain. And then 'pag pinakitaan mo ng respeto ang tao hindi lang nila ibabalik sa'yo, ba't gagawin din nila yun sa ibang tao? Sa gano'ng paraan we can promote peace at talagang magkakaroon tayo ng kapayapaan sa buong mundo. Masarap mabuhay ng mapayapa, masagana at masaya, okey? Alright, so you discover new things about yourself every day. Alam natin yan. Araw-araw may mga bago nangyayari sa atin. As you become aware of the similarities and differences you have with other people, you might ask many whys. Bakit nga ba kami pare-pareho? Ba't nga ba kami magkakaiba? Ba't may pagkakatulad kami, pareho kami ng gusto? Bakit gusto niya yun, ba't ako ayaw ko yun? 'Di ba? Marami tayong bakit. Such as why you are different and you are similar from others. This is understandable because you and other people came from various places, different family background, different family history, and different orientation. Kasi marami talaga tayong pinanggalingan, di ba? Iba-iba, marami tayong naranasan, marami tayong mga background na wala sa iba, right? Iba-ibang lugar tayo napuntahan, you might have countless different experiences from the others. Puwedeng ikaw ay mas marami na experience kaysa sa iba, okay? Maaaring magkakaiba rin ang level nun, may mahirap, may madali lang. And, the fact that there are factors that might affect the way you relate yourself to the other people. Take note that you can always improve the way you relate to other people, though effective communication and by genuinely respecting their beliefs, cultures, and values, 'di ba? One of the improvement kagaya nung kanina, ang mga tsismis 'no, wag tayong magpadala-dala agad, 'di ba? Wag tayong papatol agad. Ano ang susi? Effective communication. Kausapin natin ng maayos. Kung ka-level natin, yung gumagawa ng tsismis, kausapin natin ng maayos na walang magandang maidudulot ang tsismis na iyon at ayaw rin naman ninyo na kayo ay mayroong negative relationship, 'di ba? And kung hindi naman natin kaidaran at nasasaktan tayo sa mga tsismis na iyon, puwede nating i-consult sa ating mga magulang na mas nakakapag-isip ng mas tama sa atin. Sa gano'ng paraan magagabayan din nila tayo at sila rin ang maaari nating maging gabay, 'di ba? At makakatulong natin sa, na-experience natin na iyon. There are numerous ways to respect others effectively. It is a social skill that we must enhance at all times. So, dito you need to remember that you must be mindful on how you treat other people as they might misinterpret your actions or your words. So, lagi tayong magiging maingat kung paano natin tinitreat ang ibang tao. Kasi minsan, nami-misinterpret nila ang ating mga kilos, hindi lang kilos kahit minsan ang ating simpleng salita. So, we need always to be respectful, 'di ba? Polite, they need to feel that we honor them and we accept them. Okay? As you go along with the journey of life, you must also have a wider respect and acceptance for others. So habang tayo lumalaki, mas nagkakaroon tayo ng malawak na respeto at pagtanggap sa isa't isa o sa bawat tao. Respect and acceptance are lifelong processes. So mahabang process siya, mga anak, that you must always take on a positive note. Respect for others is an essential way to maintain good relationship with the people around you. So kung gusto natin ng magandang samahan, mas maganda kung lagi tayo merong respeto. It is the foundation of your connection to others, the same way that other people's foundation in having an effective communication connection with you too as well. Now that the entire world is facing a pandemic, respect is even more essential and powerful. We respect by practicing physical distancing. Paano nga ba natin napapakita ang respeto din ngayon since pandemic? Isa sa mga pagpapakita nito ay ang pagsunod sa batas, 'di ba? Ang ating gobyerno binigyan tayo ng rules and regulation. Let us respect it to show that we are a good citizen. Physical distancing, always wearing face mask and face shield, that is set by the government. In that way, we are following and obeying, sumusunod tayo na gusto nating mawala na talaga yung transmission of virus. We have learned to respect other people's personal spaces even more. To add, we show respect nowadays by not only being considerate to others, but by taking care of ourselves so that in our own way, we became valuable warriors against this virus. So, hindi lang tayo sumusunod um, sa binibigay ng gobyerno, but sundin din natin na tayo mismo ay alagaan ng ating sarili para sa ganong paraan hindi na nga talaga dadami pa ang virus or lalaganap pa. Okay? These are how we can show respect. Okay? Showing respect means ito po yung mga ano ba ang mga ibig sabihin ng respeto regarding and treating them good. Diba? We need always to regards them. Huwag natin silang paalisin. Huwag natin silang ilayo sa atin. We need to regard them always and to treat them good. Okay? Everybody, showing respect means everybody with kindness. Maging mabuti tayo sa tao, sa ating pananalita at sa ating gawi. Iwasan na natin yung pagiging plastic, traiduran, pagpaparinigan. Hindi yun kindness eh. Kung meron tayong hindi nagugustuhan, sabihin natin ng maayos, makikinig yun. Kesa awayin lang natin ng awayin, lalong-lalong di tayo pakikinggan. May pinaglalaban tayo na palagay natin ay tama, pero paano ba natin sinasabi? Sinisigawan natin, pinaparinig natin, hinding-hindi niya yun tatanggapin. Bakit? Walang respeto ang ating way. So, isa sa pagpapakita ng respeto ay pagiging mabuti. Showing good manners, alam na natin ng good manners, pagsasabi ng totoo, di ba? Um, pagpapakita ng concern sa ibang tao, diba? Politeness to all, maging magalang sa nakakatanda, kahit sa ating kapwa, kaidaran man natin, kaibigan, kamag-anak, always show politeness. Exhibiting equal courtesy as well. Ayan. So, ang ating courteous or pagiging polite ay equal sa lahat ng tao. Wala tayong pinipili. Civility and consideration, we need to consider different people around us. We need to be civics. Dapat alam natin ng law, um, alam natin kung paano sumunod sa rules and regulation ng ating munisipalidad at ng ating gobyerno. Driving with tact and a thoughtful attitude. So, ipakita natin lagi na tayo ay lagi may concern towards others. So for the activity in here, you need to do the module 5. It's entitled Share Your Thoughts and Feelings. So I'll just read the directions. We are accustomed to show respect to other people, especially to those who are older than us. Look at the following picture. What if the ones we need to show respect for are the people who are much younger than us? Answer the given question on a clean sheet of paper or bond paper. So sa one whole, sagutin niyo lang yung dalawang question na ito. Paano nga ba tayo magpapakita ng respeto sa mga tao naman na mas bata pa sa atin? May encounter kasi talaga natin 'to, eh. Halimbawa sa school, may mga kaklase kayo na mas bata sa inyo or kung kayo grade 9 may mga schoolmate kayo na grade 8 grade 7. Of course, ang respeto 'di ba equal. Sabi nga kanina, how to show it, equality. Hindi puwede tayong mamili porke bata ba, hindi natin rerespetuhin. Respeto is anywhere, any, when, and whoever they are, okay? So, paano mo 'yun ipapakita kung mas bata siya? Number one, what ways can we give to show respect to people who are younger to us? Ano yung mga paraan para ipakita mo sa iyong mga nakakabata sa'yo na ginagalang or nirerespeto mo siya, ino-honor or ina-accept mo siya? Number two, why do we need to show respect to people who are younger to us? Bakit nga ba? Bakit kailangan pa rin natin silang respetuhin, yung mga mas nakakabata sa atin? So, only two question is the one that you need to answer in module 5. So now let's proceed with module 6. It talks about we are different but one. So ang ganda ng title, sabi niya, tayo ay magkakaiba pero tayo pa rin ay iisa. Right? Possible kasi talaga yon. So remember that we are all unique but we also have similarities. Iba-iba talaga tayo na nilikha ng Diyos. Sabi nga, yung pagkakaiba-iba natin, yun ang nagpapaganda sa ating samahan. Imagine yung crayons na nasa isang box. Crayons is composed of 8 colors, 12, 24 colors, etc. Pero wala kang makikita dun sa crayon na yun na parehong puti, parehong red, parehong blue, parehong green, parehong orange, right? Pangit na siya tignan. 'Di ba? Ang mangyayari pa nga babalik tayo sa store, "Bakit po parehong orange 'to? Kulang po ako ng ganitong color." Why? Because it's really nice to see the color if they are really different. Like the people, mas nagbe-blend, napakagandang tignan na iba-iba ang tao pero magkakasama. Yun yung, siguro ma-incorporate ko dito sa number 1. We are all unique but we also have similarities. It is important that we are aware of our personal characteristics, most especially those that can help us establish good relationship. Kahit tayo ay unique, importante na alam natin kung ano yung mga ating um, characteristic and personality na meron tayo. Okay? Para alam natin kung paano pa rin tayo magkakaroon ng magandang relasyon sa iba. Individual differences are already a given fact, and the best way to deal with it is acceptance and respect. So, we already know that you are unique. Siyempre, yung ibang tao ay different din sa'yo. Yung mga individual differences na tinatawag. Kaya, minsan di ba kayo nagtataka, may mga ibang girls ang gustong kaibigan ay boys, di ba? Ang isang tahimik na tao, gusto niya laging kasama naman yung funny kasi mas nagbe-blend sila, di ba? Mas madali nilang ma-accept ang isa't isa or magbigay ng respeto sa isa't isa because they have differences or may iba na yun ang gustong way of blending with friends or samahan, ano. As we live in this new normal, it is necessary to gain insight about our behaviors that promote respect for individual preferences, especially within our family. So kahit tayo sa pamilya natin, meron din tayong individual differences. Hindi naman talaga kayo pareho ng kapatid mo. Minsan nga kahit yung magkakambal, magkaiba pa rin talaga. So, since may pagkakaiba-iba tayo at given na yun, kailangan i-promote natin ang respeto na tayo ay magkakaiba. Such insight will promote healthy relationship and responsible family members. So, let's proceed. I have in here some scenario again and I have question below. Let us try to imagine your sibling is answering the school modules when you realize that it was already time to wash the dishes and siya dapat ang magwawash ng dishes. Last time kasi, when it was your term, ang ginawa mo, nag-stop ka sa ginagawa mo sa module or sa schoolwork and then ginawa mo yung household chores na dapat mong gawin. Okay? So, how will you respond to show respect for individual differences in your family? So, halimbawa, si sister mo or si brother mo, time niya na maghugas ng pinggan, then hindi siya agad gumagawa. How will you show respect with this? Eh, ganun siya. Ganun siya eh. Yun yung pinagkaiba ninyo. Ikaw may kusa siya. Siya kailangan talaga sinasabihan. Eh, alam mo yun. Eh, di sabihan natin siya. Huwag natin siyang sisigawan na, "Hoy, maghugas ka na ng pinggan," 'no? Eh, gano'n siya, eh. Yun yung pagkakaiba niya sa'yo. Dun kayo nagkaiba na ikaw kaya mong maalala na at magkusa na, "Oh, meron akong responsibilidad, maghuhugas na ako." Ta's makikita mo yung kapatid mo toka naman niya the next day, pero oras na ng hugasan 'di siya tumatayo, eh, di paalalahanan mo siya, "Ate, kuya, o ano kaya, ne, maghuhugas ka na ng pinggan doon." Sabihin natin ng maayos. Tingnan mo magre-respond din yun sa'yo ng maayos. Okay, tanggapin natin na gano'n talaga siya, gano'n ang way niya. what could be the result of your action? So, kapag alam natin yung pagkakaiba ng isang tao, lalo na sa ating pamilya, edi mas nagkakasundo tayo. Alam natin kung paano natin siya kakausapin, alam natin kung paano natin siya sasabihan, edi mas smooth ang relationship. Another situation, your parents promise you that they will buy a new mobile phone for you. However, because of the pandemic, they decided to buy one personal computer so you can share it with your other sibling instead. So, um, what will you feel about it? So, ano yung pagkakaiba dito? Um, si parents mo, ang thinking niya, pag-iisip niya ay pwede naman kayo mag-share, 'di ba? Pero ikaw, ang thinking mo, expect mo na kino-consider ka ng parents mo na sa'yo lang yung phone, 'di ba? So, dun yung medyo differences ninyo ng iyong parents. So, how will you cope with it? I know you have answer right now on your mind. Siguro, irespeto natin, total our parents have valid reason naman eh, 'di ba? Maganda kagaya kanina 'no, sa lesson natin, i-control natin yung mag-spend too much money, especially pandemic ngayon. Let us understand the thinking, hindi man tugma sa takbo ng pag-iisip natin, but kung makakabuti, 'di ba? At mas masaya pa yun na nakatipid na kayo at hindi rin naman iba yung pinag-sharean mo ng iyong laptop, right? Naunawaan mo na yung differences ninyo ng parents mo at the same time, naging sharer ka pa. You became very generous. And that's a good example. Another situation, your siblings like to watch their favorite TV show while you are studying. You try to explain to them that you cannot concentrate if they will turn on the television, but they insist on watching. How will you respond? Yan. So, minsan, nagkakataon na pag nag-aaral ka, ang mga kapatid mo ay gustong manood ng TV or ng movie. Sinabihan mo sila na hindi mo naiintindihan, wala kang focus kasi nadi-disturb ka nung movie, pero hindi sila sumusunod. Anong gagawin mo? Siguro, that's your differences eh, 'di ba? Maybe, you can talk to him, "O sige ha, lilipat na lang ako ng space para mapanood mo pa yung pinapanood mo." Pero explain mo sa kanya na uunawaan kita na gusto mong enjoyin yung pinapanood mo, pero, ako magbibigay, 'wag na lang nating ulitin, 'di ba? Give and take relationship will give a smooth relationship at home. Kaysa mag-away kayo, i-insist mo yung gusto mo, i-insist din niya yung gusto niya, 'di ba? Lalo na kung ang pinagsasabihan natin ay nakakabata sa atin. Tayo yung mas may isip, tayo na lang yung mag-adjust, okay? Or kaya why not stop muna yung ginagawa natin, let's take it slow and then let us watch together with our siblings. Meron pa kayong bonding. And then talk to him na, "Oh, later ha, maliit lang yung house natin, eh, na wala akong concentrate, tapusin lang natin yung movie ta's mag-aaral naman si ate saka si kuya, ha?" O puwede yun, tutuwa pa siya, okey? So, every individual differs based on temperament. So, nagkakaiba-iba tayo based on our temper. Iba-iba tayo ng, um, level of patience. Yun yung temperament, eh. Personality, iba-iba rin tayo. Abilities, kakayahan, interests, and even views and perceptions and beliefs about ourselves. Iba-iba tayo and others in the world. However, no matter how different we are from one another, it is still important that we must acknowledge these differences so we can better relate with others. So, yun pa rin yung pinaka-importante. Kahit tayo yung magkakaiba, i-acknowledge natin, hindi ko siya kapareho. Okay? Iintindihin na lang natin. And then, gawan natin ng paraan. Kasi masarap pa rin mabuhay nang hindi kayo nag-aaway, nagkakasundo kayo. Ba? And then, paalalahanan natin siya. Hindi naman pwede yung bigay rin tayo ng bigay, adjust ng adjust, then walang sabi. Sasabihan natin siya. I-open natin ang ating hearts. 'Di ba? O next time, wag mo nang ulitin yun kasi talagang mahihirapan ako, ba gano'n. Respecting individual differences is an important aspect in strengthening family relationship. Members of the family possess differences which need to be known to each members and be accepted by one another in order to have a more harmonious and healthy family relationship. So napakaganda ng isang pamilya na alam kung sino ka, kung ano ka, 'di ba? Kilalang-kilala na nga tayo ng magulang natin, eh, 'di ba? "Uy, yung anak ko na 'yan, ganito 'yan. Itong anak ko na 'yan." Ibig sabihin tanggap ka na nila. But then, maganda rin sana try to assess our differences. Ito bang differences ko na 'to ay, maganda ba ang epekto nito sa kapatid ko, sa magulang ko? Ang pangit naman nitong, personality ko na 'to. Let us try to change them naman as well, okay? So, here are some ways on how you can show respect for individual differences within the family. So, acronyms is family. So, ito yung mga paraan kung paano nga ba natin mapapakita ang respect sa iba-ibang pagkakaiba-iba natin sa ating pamilya. Kailangan tayo ay laging may frequent communication na uusap, diba? Kamustahan, ask questions if there are clarification and avoid making exceptions. Pwedeng magtanong, kamag-anak mo yun, pamilya mo yun, di ba? Make some adjustment. Importante talaga na merong marunong mag-adjust. It's a skill. Involve yourself by doing your responsibilities. Huwag natin kalilimutan ng mga responsibilidad natin para sa ating pamilya. Mahalin, respetuhin ang ating mga kapamilya. Learn to understand and accept others' differences strength and weaknesses. Huwag tayong magselosan. Intindihin natin ang kakayanan niya, "Oh, magaling talaga 'yan si kuya sa sports. Ay, magaling talaga 'yan si nene sa academic, laging honor. Ah, medyo nahihirapan talaga 'yan si bunso sa math." And then, understand natin 'yun, tulungan natin how they can strengthen those weaknesses, 'di ba? And tanggapin natin 'yun. And tayo rin towards sa ating mga kasamahan sa loob ng bahay, wag tayong magtampo, wag tayong magselos, walang gano'n. We need to accept na talagang magaling siya doon. Paano kaya yun? Paturo kaya ako sa kanya, okey? Yearn for what is good for all members of the family. Lagi nating isaisip na ang mga bagay na makakabuti sa ating pamilya, na ang lahat ng ating mga gagawin ay sa ikabubuti ng ating pamilya. Ang result nun, feedback sa pamilya natin, makakabuti yun sa kanila. Lahat ng gagawin ko, magtatapos ako, makakabuti sa pamilya ko yun. Hindi ko aawayin yung kapatid ko, makakabuti sa pamilya ko yun, 'di ba? Tutulungan ko yung kapatid ko sa module niya, i-explain ko sa kanya na maayos, di ko siya papagalitan, makakabuti yun sa family. So here's what you need to do for um, module 6, found it in page 7. The title is You Can Do It. I am me and they are them, but we are together. So yun yung sinasabi kanila, we are different but we are one family. Okay? Even with the others, with your classmate and with your friends, I am me, they are them, but we are one class. Diba? Pwedeng ganon. Copy the table below on a clean sheet of paper. Read and answer the question under each column. An example is provided as your guide. What are your responsibilities at home? So, isip tayo, ano ba yung mga nakatoka nating gawin sa bahay? Kunwari ito, nakatoka akong maglinis ng floor, sweep the floor. Next column, what are the responsibilities of the other members of family at home? Isipin mo rin, ano naman yung toka ng iba kong kapatid? Kung 5 ang kapatid mo, di 5 dyan. Kung 3 o isa lang, di isa lang. Siya naman nagugas siya ng pinggan, example. How do you support each other in performing different chores? Ito yung sagot niya. We give appreciation to each other as they perform their chores. Diba? Minsan ganun tayo, oh, ang galing naman ni ate, tapos na siya. You give appreciation. Okay? That is how you show your support. And last column, what is the outcome of the support in the family relationship? So, pag pinapakita mo yung pagsuporta mo sa iyong kapamilya, anong result nun? Nagkakaroon ng cooperation and harmony in the family. So that's only what you need to do. Think as many as you can. Siguro we can have 3 na pwede kong mabasa tungkol dito. So here are the summary of what you need to pass on February 1. So page 3, ah, I mean sa module 3 sa page 12 po, sa module 4 sa page 8, sa module 5 nasa page 10, at sa module 6 nasa page 7. So that's all for the lecture of our homeroom. I hope you learned a lot today on our homeroom guidance lessons. God bless and always keep safe. Okay, this is Ma'am Mabel and thank you so much.